Hey YouTubers, today we're going to go over a breakdown on an Inspire 2. I searched the internet all over the place. I could not find any information on how to break down a right arm on an Inspire 2. I took it all the way apart. Now keep in mind, I would not recommend this if you're worried about the warranty on your Inspire 2 because it will possibly void your warranty. You might want to contact the manufacturer first before you do anything like that. Contact DJI, say, hey, I'm going to break it down, with this void my warranty? More likely they're going to say yes. But if you have any idea or any kind of mechanical sense whatsoever, you can do this. It wasn't really that hard to do. There is a lot of screws, but I'll give you my way. Excuse me. I'll give you my way of how I did it, and I'm not going to sit here and say, hey, this screw goes here, this screw goes here, this screw goes here. So basically the big secret of what I did, and you can order the arm online. You can do it through Amazon. Amazon has the right, the left arm. Matter of fact, you can get just about any part to this Inspire online going through Amazon. So, excuse my voice today. But you can definitely order any part on Amazon. So what I'll do is I'll add some pictures to the end of this video. So basically what I did is take, for example, I took apart this motor, the motor end. So here's the other end right here, if you can see it. I don't know if it'll focus on it. But here's the other end. So here's the motor totally installed on one side, and on the other side the motor is not installed. So I'm only showing you this because this is the tricks I did to save it. So at the very beginning, what you want to do is take your phone, and this is the secret. I don't know where my phone's at though. I could take this thing apart and put it back together, but I can't find my phone. Well, excuse me once again. So what you do is locate your screws. Every screw is going to take this motor off. Let's say I'm using this as an example. So what you want to do now, once again, if you feel that you don't have the mechanical skills to do so, and it doesn't take a lot to do it, but if you have some confidence in yourself that you'll be able to take it apart and put it back together, do it. You know, you can't hold me responsible if you lose anything, but if you feel that you can do it, go ahead and do it. I did it. I don't have the problem with it. It really wasn't that hard. If you got time, take your time. Don't rush into it and say, oh, I got to get my drone up in the air. Keep in mind, these guys over at DJI in California or wherever you send it to, they got a lot of drones they're working on also, and it's going to take them time to take it apart. So go ahead and order the parts you need. In the meantime, you can go ahead and take it apart. So back to the motor as an example. So what I did is, see these 4 screws right here. You probably can't see them, but there's 4 screws right here. What I did is I took a picture, and you'll see the picture in the video, but I took a picture of the 4 screws that are installed in here, right? So I took a picture of the screws that were, and keep them installed in there. So when you pull one screw out, what you'll do is you'll take a picture of that screw in front of that, in front of the 4 holes, and you'll see the picture in here also. So what you'll do is take your phone, if you can do it, have a crayon mark and say, these are the 4 places that these screws go into. Take those screws, put them in like a little container, like a bowl. I use a bowl when I'm taking things apart. I don't want to spill this. And I use a plate when I put it back together, because a plate I can scatter them out. and it doesn't, and I'm not looking at all of the screws all at the same time in a bowl, that'll make it really overwhelming. I put it on the plate and separate them out, and it helps me. So that's another trick. But back again, so you take a picture of the 4 screws, take one out, or take a picture of it with the one out. Have you a pair of pliers in the picture, and take a picture with the screw of what goes in there. So I hope I'm explaining that right. So you have 4 screws, right? You take one out, you hold it where you can get a view of it. If you can't remember, this is only if you can't remember to put what screw back into place. So you take a picture of it with it in the pliers in the picture of where it goes, and then that's then you can take them all out and put them in the bowl. You'll see the pictures, and it'll make more sense at the end of the video of what I'm talking about. So what you do at the very beginning, you start that process. You take the picture with the 1 screw out. You start that at the very beginning. So when you put it back together, it's just the opposite. So you go to the last video, the very last video that you took, and it has your screws, and you work backwards through your videos. So you go to the very last video, last picture, and work backwards. I'm going to move the camera to my computer, and you'll see what I'm talking about. Hello everybody, what's going on today? As I mentioned earlier, I was going to make a video on the photos and how I organize everything, disassembling and assembling the Inspire 2 drone. Once again, I would not recommend this to anybody that's wanting to keep their warranty. So it doesn't matter to you whether or not you have a warranty on your drone, on your Inspire 2, go ahead and do this. Also, if you have any kind of mechanical skills or any kind of mechanical knowledge and tools, go ahead and do this. I'm definitely not held responsible for anything that goes wrong with your drone whatsoever. I'm just making this video to show that we can do it also. Also keep in mind that this is my first time to take it apart and put it back together. I did a test, and I'll show you the test flight on it also. Everything worked out fine. It's just basically taking the screw out, putting the screw back in, keeping everything organized where you know where everything's at. So some of the tips that I'm going to talk about here help me organize everything. So first of all, before you disassemble it, get you a little bowl, and you put all the parts and screws in that bowl, and so when you're reassembling it, you take everything that's in that bowl, you put it in the plate, and you identify each screw in there. So you separate it out and put all the like screws together, because when it'll make putting it back together a lot easier. So, and also whenever you're taking it apart, per each screw you take out, make sure you take a picture of it and identify what screw goes into what hole. And we'll go to that right now. So, whoops. Alright, so looking at this picture right here, this was actually my first screw, but this is the second screw. This was pretty easy for me to identify, so I didn't make any notes on that. Going right along to the next one. So these screws came out of this slot. Do not take this off right here. Do not take this one off at all. These screws, yes, you can take off, but don't take these screws off. This that's your radar or your sensor, or heck, I forgot what it's called. But don't take these off. Leave this unit on. So you'll be taking these 3 off, and I believe you got 2 on the other side. So my right arm is what was damaged when I hit the tree, plus some props. But we won't go through that right now. So on this picture right here, I identified this is my right side. These 2 are my left side. I kept these in the same sequence. So you'll notice when you're taking it apart, all your wiring harnesses for your right side is going to plug to your right side of your aircraft. Everything on your left side is going to plug into your left side of your aircraft. Just something to remember. Next picture, I went ahead and took the lights off in the back. I took this panel off in the back. It made it a lot easier to take my housing, keep my housing separate from the aircraft. Do not take these off. Once again, this is your radar or your identifier, or your, I think it's radar. So don't take this off. Don't need to. Okay, these two. So here's an example. You got two screws. You got the screw. These are where they go, and that identifies it. So two screws. See how I left one in there? And there's your other screw. Moving right along. 3 holes, 3 screws. There's your screw. My phone has like a pencil or crayon, or where you can mark with your finger. So if that's something that you have on your phone, definitely use it. Once again, 2 screws. See how I marked it there? That's your screws. That's what your screw is going to look like. So you have 2 sets of these types of screws. One's going to be short, one's going to be long, but they're same size. This is a S8. You need to get you an S8. It's a torque wrench. That's torque, T-O-R-X, torque. Once again, don't take this off. I left a picture on here so I can know where the screws go, but don't need to take this off, so don't take it off. So basically, when you're at this point, you take the 3 screws off, 2 screws here, and the 3 screws on the other side. You're going to flip it over. Take these 4 screws off at the bottom. See, these 4 screws right here. 4 screws right here. That's your screw. Take a picture of the screw when it comes out. Do not take these 4 screws out. Do not take those out. That releases your battery charging, or where your batteries go. You don't need to take that off. So you'll pop these off and make sure that you have clearance on the other side of it, and it just pops off. It's really easy. So this picture right here shows blue tape. I went ahead and I should have put an L on here, but I went ahead and took these off. These are my the left side. So your left is going to be your left motor, your left antennas. This is on the bottom, your undercarriage of it. 4 screws. You're going to need like a T-handle S8 torque for this to reach down in there. 4 screws. There's your screw. This picture is the cap for that goes on top of this. This actually keeps your antenna or your motor depressed up against it, so when you put your arms back together and in your carriage unit, it presses on there and it holds them in place. So once again, there's 3 screws. That's what the screw looks like. You can enlarge it, move it around, whatever you want to do to help you out. These are tensioning screws. There's 2 screws. You don't have to pull these out all the way. These are Allen heads. These are not torque. These are Allen heads. Keep in mind, if you don't want to lose your warranty, don't do this. If you want to keep your warranty on your product, send it in. So the next picture is the that's your it's a pin. It's like it's a drive pin. So you got 2 of them. 2 of them. One there, one there. 4 screws. Phillips head. That's on the, to remove your antenna on the other side. There's torque. Those are S8s also, or T8s. That pulls your landing gear feet off the bottom of your motor. There's 2 screws. See how I took a picture of the screw with the needle nose pliers? There's a screw, 2 screws. Those are Allen heads. Those are not Torque, Allen heads. So you're going to need a Torque wrench and Allen head. Maybe a pair of pliers, like needle nose pliers, but other besides that, that's really the only tools you need. There's the back of your motor. There's your screws, Allen heads. This tape you're going to have to cut. If you want to put some tape, you can put black tape or whatever else you want to put there. Your pins. So when you're pulling apart your pins from your socket right there, there's a little safety clip here, security clip. Make sure you pull that or push that in and remove it. So if you're having to struggle, you're not doing it right. And pull from the clip. Don't pull from the wires. So hold on to it really tight and just wiggle it out just a little bit and it'll come out. Alright, so that's the last of it. That's all the steps I have for it to take it apart. It wasn't really hard at all. It took a little time, but go slow, go at your own pace that you feel comfortable with. And if you have any questions or comments, go ahead and put it down at the bottom of the page. And I'll try to respond back to you as soon as possible. Make sure you put a thumbs up on this also. Subscribe to my page, especially if you like this video. And once you subscribe, you'll see more DIY videos that I've done that helps me out, and I just like to share it. So it's been my pleasure. I hope you enjoy all the videos. Peace. Have a good one. Alright, hello YouTubers. The other day I made a video of taking apart an Inspire 2 drone from DJI. Starting it off, there wasn't anything on the internet about taking apart a DJI 2 right arm, taking everything about. I googled all over the place, couldn't find anything, so I went ahead and made a video. So on this video, I showed you a breakdown of how to take it apart, replacing the right arm. So you could do the same thing, but you'll do the left arm. Now keep in mind too, what I recommended, that if you wanted to save your warranty, don't do this. Or if you don't have any kind of mechanical skills, this video will pretty much walk you through how to take it apart and put it back together. But today is the test day. It's going to be to make sure everything works. So I know it works. I have faith in myself, and I have confidence that I put it together and everything is done correctly. What I recommend, I'm a FAA certified pilot. I have my certifications from the Federal Aviation Administration. One thing that's recommended is create you a checklist, a safety checklist before any flight. I have one that's on my controller, and I follow all the checklists before I take off to make sure that my aircraft is stable and in perfect safety health, I guess, but it's make sure everything's working properly. I got it ready to go. I already downloaded all my updates. The craft's on the ground right now. I got a green blinking light. It connected fine. Everything's good to go. Give me just 1 minute and I will do a liftoff. Okay, as you can tell, the aircraft has a blinking light. It's ready to go. I got good GPS. I reset my home station. I calibrated the aircraft also. So I'm just going to do an automatic liftoff or an automatic takeoff and go that route. I checked my gimbal works. It recalibrated that also. Everything's good to go. So here's my takeoff. It's going to go up 4 feet. Everything looks good. It's a little choppy out here, a little windy, so I'm going to bring it up off the ground just a little bit. Lift works fine. Check spin. It's a little shaky. There is a lot of wind. Of course, it's filming us right there. I'm going to go ahead and record this. Alright, we're in record mode. That's my lovely wife. Let's say hello to my lovely wife. Alright. So I'm going to do a couple simple maneuvers. I'm going to bring it through the house just a little bit. A little breezeway we have. I'm not going to go that way because I don't want to run in. And just remind everybody what happened. I hit a tree, so optical avoidance is working. That's good. I'm going to take it up a little higher. That's at 40 feet. 40 feet out. As you can see, good to go. Got good visibility. We're using it. Alright. Have the option to cancel it. So if you don't like the way it's landing, you can cancel it. Yes, I want to cancel it because it's not landing where I want it to land. Working fine. There's some light. Alright, I'm going to land it myself manually. Before I land, I like to blow it off, blow the ground off a little bit. So basically why I do that, that gets a lot of the dirt and stuff like that away from the prop and from the motor. I've already swept that area. There we are. Moving it up a little bit. Alright, here goes the land. Final touchdown. Alright. Seemed to work okay to me. Thumbs up. Successful flight route, flight plan. Everybody's got their own term for that. Just keep in mind whenever you before you flight, if you have a flight checklist, make sure you write that down. Make sure you talk it over to whoever is going to be out there with you on your flight route. If they're filming you, it always helps out to have a flight plan. Make sure you go over your safety checklist on it. We did have a successful flight. Everything worked just fine. The only thing I didn't do the active track, the tap fly, and there was a couple others I didn't do. So with this flying the way it did, I'm sure everything worked out just right. We're gonna put I'll put the flight route on the video also, so y'all can check it out. Once again, if y'all have any questions about any of this, if you want to put some comments down below, and please subscribe to my channel. I'll be more than happy to answer it as soon as I can with any kind of comments, questions on if you have any problems with putting it back together or piecing it all, I can help you through that too. So now keep in mind, if this will possibly void your warranty, so if you're planning on doing this, make sure that you know ahead of time that your warranty will probably be void. So if something comes up, you're not going to have the warranty on that. You'll probably have to, they'll still fix it for you, but you'll have to pay full price, or you can fix it yourself. And also, the big reason why I had to replace the right arm is I was overconfident, and I was close to a tree, and I was like about 3 feet away from a tree. A gust of wind caught it and blew it right into the tree. And my right prop, well, it cost me three props and a right arm, so that was around about $100 with everything. I already had the props. You always want to keep extra props around just in case something happens. You don't want to break a prop and you have a good flying aircraft, and you're out of prop, and that's all you needed. So always keep a set, one of a red and one of a white to have on hand, so to change it out just in case you do have an accident and that's the only thing that broke. But I think that was it. Thanks a lot for watching. Cool.
A company always on the run, a destiny, oh, it's the rising sun. I was born, a shotgun in my hands, behind the gun, I'll make my final stand. Yeah, and that's why they call me bad company. I can't deny bad company till the day I die. Until the day I die. Until the day I